Giants are rolling and in the middle of a run for the playoffs, riding their big guns who've been there before and led them to the finish line in the past seasons. With the Stars leading the way, the entire lineup is playing inspired baseball at just the right time. 23 games left in the regular season. Every game is huge. Final game of the series, next. Afternoon baseball here in Denver. We're coming to you from Coors Field as we get ready to wrap up this three-game series, Giants and Rockies. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, it's been two Coors Field games in this series so far. A lot of runs. And today, Mike, the temperature is even warmer than it's been the last 2 days. So both pitchers will have their hands full. But let's talk about Vogelsong.
Well, Vogelsong, I think the key is going to be strike one. He's got to be aggressive here. You know you're going to give up runs on a day like today. He has at least the confidence that whatever he gives up, his team has the ability to come back and pick him up if he should happen to make a few mistakes. But I think the key here is ride Posey. Posey is a guy who's setting the tone. He's behind the plate today. And just let him control the game with the way he calls the game and the way he swings the bat.
And Travis Ishikawa will be at first base for this afternoon game. All right, stay tuned. We'll take you to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update, and we'll do all of that right after this.
Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
Here we are at Coors Field as we get ready to wrap up this 3-game series. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is now open weekends. It is a warm day here in Denver, 88 degrees. We have winds at between 10 and 15 miles per hour. Humidity very low, and it is clear and a good day to hit. So here are the Giants trying to win the series. They lost on Monday 10-9 and come back and win 12-7 yesterday. And in both of those games, the losing team had pretty significant leads early in the ball game.
All right, time now for our AT&T U-verse Rewind. Last night, top of the 7th, the Giants come up with 6 hits and 6 runs. It was Panic hitting a double, Posey hitting a double, Pence hitting a single, Blanco hitting a double, Susac hitting a double, and then the final one was a triple off the bat of Brandon Crawford. Giants last night come back from a 6-0 deficit to record a victory. First time they've done that since 1977. That's our AT&T U-verse Rewind. Giants studying their opponent today, and their opponent's going to be Christian Bergman. Now, what do you say we take a look at Bergman's numbers? 6 start, 1 and 2 on the year with a 5.74 ERA, 43 base runners in 26 2/3 innings. And when Bergman's on, you're going to see a fastball that's low 90s. He'll throw a cutter, a curveball, and a slider. And he's got pretty good command. He had his year kind of broken up with a line drive against a start against Atlanta. Broke his hand, put him on the shelf for 50 days. So he's back, and he can be very, very tough when he is getting all of his pitches over. And that's his key, command. If he's got his command, he's going to cause you some fits. Bergman, 26 years old, 6'1", 180-pounder, and he's a pure rook from Woodlands, Texas.
Well, one of the reasons for our delay in doing the lineups is right at the last second, Angel Pagan was scratched. So here's the updated lineup. It'll be Blanco leading off, followed by Panic, and then Buster Posey, and his numbers at Coors Field are off the charts. Pence, Ishikawa, and Arias. Crawford will hit 7th, Perez 8th, and Vogelsong 9th. So here's Gregor Blanco. And the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's high. So we get started at 112. And Blanco takes high again, so it's 2-0. Giants with the win last night, 76 and 63. And on the 2-0 pitch, lifted to shallow left field, and it's going to fall fair. And Blanco is going to stop at first.
Well, it's kind of unusual that you look over first base and see Blanco. I think on a ball like that, you got to be at second base. So I don't know how quickly he got out of the box, but that might even be contested after the Rockies look at it. I'm not sure how much of the line this thing hits. That's close. That's third base umpire Larry Vanover with a call. Blanco was kind of watching it and really just thinking it's going to be caught, and then all of a sudden he's caught, not on second base.
Well, that's a mistake.
It is.
So here's Panic. Panik takes a call strike, hitting .314. With Buster Posey on deck, and this is driven to left, and Dickerson's over, and he's not going to be able to get it. So Blanco's going to move to third. It'll be first and third with nobody out.
2 opposite field base hits already in this game against Bergman. Let's take a look at the defense for the Rockies. Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Dickerson, Blackman, and Paulson. Rutledge and Arenado on the left side of the infield, LeMahieu and Morneau on the right side. And Michael McHenry will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's the red-hot Buster Posey. Buster last night 3 for 5, a home run and 2 doubles. And the pitch. Swing and a foul into the glove of McHenry.
88-mile-an-hour challenge from Bergman.
Kind of scrambling here, redoing the lineups.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball to right. Charging in is Paulson. He's going to make the catch. Tagging is Blanco, and the Giants lead 1-0. So give Buster Posey a sacrifice fly. And for him, the way he's been going, he's probably disappointed.
And the way he's been going, hitting .461 in his last 12 games, 18 RBIs. Giants 8-4 in those last 12 games. He has been at the hub of the offense.
So here's Hunter Pence, and Pence looks at a strike. Angel Hernandez, by the way, the home plate umpire.
And he can be very tight with his zone. Doesn't give a big corner on either side of the plate. Usually he'll start the game out low, and then it kind of rises as the game wears on. So pitches like that, which are low strikes, you get them early in the game, you may not get them late in the game. So he can be a bit frustrating.
You see the rest of the lineup. Nauert, Tompane, and Vanover. Outside Hunter Pence. Pence 2 for 5 last night. As he waits on Bergman. And a shot into right field, a base hit. Panik is going to stop at second.
Boy, he has really used the right side of the field well, especially in this series. Extending that hitting streak. And how is his year going? Well, this season, 169 hits, 100 runs. That leads the National League in both. And no Giants player has ever led the National League in both hits and runs in the same season. So he is doing something historical in regards to the Giants' history. And he has been so steady. An incredible year. And he is as strong as anybody in this game as we go into September.
Here's Ishikawa. And Ishikawa fouls it back. Panik at second. Pence at first. Giants with 1 run in, trying to cash in with more. And Ishikawa takes high.
Are you caught up yet?
I haven't been able to fill in the averages, but I'll have that done here in a minute. One ball and 1 strike. In tight.
And they keep going right at the belt on that inside corner on Ishikawa. I think you get used to that if you're a tall hitter. Ishikawa 6'3".
Joaquin Arias to follow. This is hit high to left field. It'll be Dickerson moving back as you see what happens in this altitude and in this weather, how far that ball went. Tagging is panic.
Oh, this place is as live as we've seen it. No wind at all. So you're getting carry from the foul line in right field to the foul line in left field. And this is just pretty much a routine fly ball. And look where it gets out to. As you see Dickerson start to drift and drift right there about 5 feet away from the warning track. So this is a day where you may see a tape measure home run.
Here's Arias. 2 outs, a run in, and he takes a high strike, and it's 0-1. Hit into right center field. Plenty of room for Blackman, and that'll end the inning. Giants on the board. Rockies are coming up. Vogelsong coming out. 1-0. The Rockies, and here's their lineup. It'll go like this. It'll be Blackman, Rutledge, and Morneau. Morneau having a good year. So's Arenado, who's hitting 4th, and Corey Dickerson. And you can see his numbers at home. He likes it here, and who wouldn't? Ben Paulson, the Rook. Paulson is hitting 6th, and it's McHenry, LeMahieu, and Bergman.
On the hill today for the Giants will be Ryan Vogelsong, the 2011 National League All-Star, scheduled to make his 28th start. 8-9 on the year with a 3.73 ERA and 27 starts. He's gone 3-1 with a 2.58 ERA in his last 6 starts. He's been back with 19 runs in his last 2 starts. And why do I bring that up? Because the previous 8 games, they got 1.81 runs for him. They just couldn't score for him. So when you get him some runs, he's been very, very good. Lifetime against these Rockies, he's 5-2 with a 4.02 ERA. 2-2 here at Coors Field. You get a low 90s fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup, and he will paint the corners. Just take a look at the defense. Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Blanco, Perez, and Pence. That's your outfield. Crawford and Arias on the left side, with Sandoval getting the day off. Joe Panik joined by Ishikawa on the right side of the infield. Buster Posey will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Blackman. Charlie Blackman takes a strike at the knees, hitting .287, 17 home runs, 66 runs batted in. Blackman yesterday went 1 for 5. And he lines this one. Blanco. Is that Perez? Perez makes the running catch. How about that?
Juan Perez in center field, replacing Pagan, and Blanco stays in left field. But Juan Perez can play some center field. He has a very, very good instinctive first step. Good route runner, and he had to be perfect here. He didn't get a lot of time. That ball was hit right on the screws from Charlie Blackmon.
Well, he's going to have some fun this afternoon.
Well, center fielders like Juan Perez that have great range, they love Coors Field. Lots of room out there.
Here's Rutledge, who takes a called strike.
I don't think he was too happy with that first called strike. He thought that was a bit low. The umpires are letting you know what the strike zone is going to be first time through.
Well, this is hit well to left. Blanco back. Blanco's going to make the catch.
Well, time now for our Nissan keys to the game. And, well, if you're the Giants, hop on the Buster Posey train. How good has he been? Very good. Of late, the last 12 games, hit .481, 12 RBIs, Giants 8-4. And Vogie, strike one. On a day like today, this is an offensive day, but you have to be bold, especially early in the count. Get after 0-1, no walks. That's what beat you in a day like today at Coors Field. Those are our Nissan keys to the game.
This is hit to left, and Blanco is going to play this one on a bounce. So Morneau, it's one of those Coors Field hits.
Giants' range in the outfield is outstanding, and it is with Pagan. Pagan has very good range as an outfielder as well. But you need to have those type of outfielders in this ballpark. I mean, you could say that pretty much across the board in the National League West, but here at Coors Field, you have to have guys that have range.
Here's Arenado. Did not start the game yesterday. Day off. He's hitting .294. He does have some ownage on Vogelsong in 4 at-bats. He's 3 for 4. Blanco, a long run. This is right in that corner, and it's foul, and it went a long way. Well, I thought it was a pop-up to Arias.
It was off. It was not on the sweet spot. It was up the bat. Now that ought to give you an idea of the carry of the field right now. If you're a pitcher and you jam a guy and you throw that fastball and he hits it off the sweet spot, up the bat, and it gets out there 345 feet away, that's a bit scary. And now we're starting to get a little wind.
Yeah, it's blown out. This is line to right, and Hunter Pence is going to make the catch. Another key. How about make the outfielders work?
Use your atom ball.
1-0 Giants.
Bay Area is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company, the Solar Company. Switch to solar and save.
Giants a run on 3 hits in the first inning. It'll be Crawford, Perez, and Vogelsong here in the second against Christian Bergman. So here's Bergman. He threw 17 pitches in that first inning, and Crawford hits it out of play.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you're playing in a live yard, because of
this is behind second. Rutledge, 1 out.
Because of the dimensions, because of the carry. I mean, it could be a field where there's lots of wind blowing out one side. It's just, it's a day where it favors the hitter. You have to force yourself to get in that strike zone early. If you start nibbling and get behind and creating hitters counts 1-0, 2-0, 3-1, you have no chance.
So you would rather get beat early than late.
That's exactly right. And you got to find out early. You got to get in that zone. Because once you get 0-1, now you can make your pitch.
Perez hammers one into deep left center field. This one is way back, and it bounces up against the wall. And Perez is going to put on the brakes at second, and he's got a double.
Ball jumped off his bat. And Bergman doing what you need to do. You need to attack. And there was Juan Perez laying in the bushes for that fastball. Right over the plate. Finds a gap. Almost pumps it out of here. And once he gets it in the gap, he can scoot.
Yeah,
very athletic.
Perez, you start thinking triple before you think double. Vogelsong 6 for 51. And he takes one wide, 1 ball and no strikes. So good speed at second in Perez. And Vogelsong gets a piece. It's a ball and a strike. Vogelsong letting out a little bit of shaft on that swing.
Now think about his last game against the Brewers, and he had that one at bat against Willie Peralta, where Peralta buzzed him up around the chin at 95. He put on the best at bat we've seen a pitcher have in a long time. A 9-pitch at bat, wound up being an opposite field base hit.
Out of play.
And I was asking him, I said, where's that at bat been? Well, I was ticked off. I go, then you need to have somebody slap you in the face before you go up there every time. You need to get ticked off.
And did you have any suggestions on who might do that?
Well, this gentleman right here raised his hand. I'll do that.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Vogelsong rolls it foul past Tim Flannery.
But if you can swing the bat a little bit, you can really help yourself. And here's an opportunity with a runner in score position. Rockies show Vogelsong no respect in the outfield with their depth. They bring everybody in.
Up the middle, and now Perez makes a mistake. And he's going to be tagged out.
Well, join us next Saturday, the 13th, for Fiesta Gigantes, presented by Coors Light. Fiesta Gigantes is an annual free pregame music festival from 3 to 6 on the Terry Francois Boulevard. There's also a Fiesta Gigantes special event package, which includes a Vamos Gigantes scarf and a Giants game ticket against the Dodgers. Reminder is, if you want to get the scarf giveaway, you need to purchase the special event tickets. So go to sfgiants.com/special events.
Here's Blanco. Blanco takes a strike. Blanco hit a bloop that hit the foul line, and he eventually scored on the Buster Posey sacrifice fly. This is, he's going to try it again, except this one's going to sail into the seats.
Little fillet shots down the left field line.
Panic on deck. And that pitch is high.
Think about Bergman. I mean, he likes to work a quick pace even out of the stretch.
He does.
He's a get it and go guy.
Big fan.
Especially on getaway day.
Big fan. Into right field. Paulson moving around, and Paulson's going to put it away, and Gregor Blanco just missed it. Corey Dickerson's going to lead things off.
Ball game. Well, let's take a look at Giants history. San Francisco Giant history. Only 2 comeback wins when trailing by 6 or more runs and end up winning the game by 5 runs. The only time it ever happened was back in June 27th, 1977, against the Cincinnati Reds, down by 8. They won it 14-9. Top of the 6th, Giants scored 10 runs, and in that inning, Willie McCovey, the Hall of Famer, hit 2 home runs. Last night, down by 6. Come back and had 11 unanswered runs and wound up winning by 5. So down by 6, win by 5. It's only happened twice in San Francisco Giants history.
So that was pretty cool last night.
Yeah, it was.
Bottom of the 2nd. Dickerson, Paulson, McHenry. Dickerson 2 for 2 yesterday, 3 RBIs. He's been a bit of a pain in this series. In tight.
Well, I'm impressed with this guy. I think he's a player. And I think he's got a nice ceiling. Really, you know, you hit 309, you have a 20 home run year. I mean, you're letting the league know you can play. It's a kid who in the minor leagues hit over 30 home runs one year at the A-ball level with the Rockies.
Well, he's in the driver's seat now, 2-0. High and deep to right, in the driver's seat, gone. And this game is tied.
That was a big boy. Now, when you pigeonhole yourself as a pitcher and you set up hitters' counts where they can look one pitch one side of the plate, and if they get it, they can hurt you. And that's strong bat head right there.
Home run number 21, and here's Paulson. Paulson hit a home run on Monday.
Vogelsong right back in the strike zone. 20 home run year at Colorado Springs. That's a very live ballpark. It's even higher in altitude than this ballpark. Lots of carry. Ballpark that favors the hitters.
McHenry to follow, and then LeMahieu. Vogelsong is 2-2 in this ballpark, lifetime. And Mike mentioned it earlier, 5-2 in his career against Colorado. This is down the left field line, and that's going to carry into the seats. Blanco ended up with it anyway. He held it up. He got it. No, just kidding.
Don't do that to me. I believed you.
Look at this. Great, though. Watch what he does.
All right, ready? I got it. Get over to the side.
Okay. Yeah.
Comes over here.
Yeah.
I got it. We're good here.
It just gives you a little insight on his personality. He can be fun.
Yeah. There's a little clown in there somewhere.
Well, he may actually get a chance at this one. And, well, this one he did hang on to. He jinxed himself. So it's just a foul ball. I think, again, this ball really carried and it fooled him.
And he had it deep in the pocket, too, and he's usually pretty sure-handed. Once he gets that much glove on it, it's out.
I would say automatic. You're right.
So, Paulson going to get another chance.
And the 2-2 is hit out to right field. Pence got a late break, and Pence is going to have come up a little short. And a Coors Field hit. You don't think it'd be fun to hit here?
Oh,
we played here for 15 years.
And you talked about Hunter Pence did not get a good jump on that, and that's rare. I mean, he's usually a very quick first step, but he did not see it.
But you know, the way the ball's carrying, what's an outfielder going to do when a hitter makes contact?
Take a step back.
Absolutely. They're going to give Pence an error.
Really?
Well, no, I beg your pardon. An error on Blanco on the ball down the left field line. Paulson gets a hit in front of Pence.
Yeah, that'd have been a rough error on Pence.
So it's 0-1 to McHenry. LeMahieu on deck. Crawford's got it on the soft line drive. 1 out. And here's DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu hit a home run last night in the Rockies' loss. Went 2 for 4, had a couple of runs batted in. And that pitch is in tight.
First pitch change up. You know, you look at LeMahieu, and he's a tall infielder. He's 6'4". And you think this guy's going to hit home runs. The one he hit last night, just his 5th on the year. And it was a line drive going out of here, too. Of course, you're just kind of used to anybody that the Rockies bring up from their system, you think they can hit.
Yeah, or they're going to hit it out of the park. You're right. Probably would have not gotten drafted by the Rockies.
Oh, no, you'd have hit 20 here. Easy.
Thanks, partner. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's what good partners do.
I'll tell you what, there'd have been a lot of hits in the left field. That's where the hits really come, is in front of the outfielders.
Well, it's like you have 3 guys playing center field here. It's that much ground.
Got him.
Boy, nice use of both sides of the plate with the fastball. Established the changeup on the first pitch. Then he goes inside with his first strike, and he works it to a 2-strike count, and then boom, bangs him right on the outside corner with fastball and a 4-seam grip. And that's how Vogelsong has to beat you. He has to shave those corners, and that's a nice job of doing it. First strikeout.
Here's Bergman. 1 for 9 on the season.
That makes him dangerous.
And Panic is going to put it away to end the inning. Dickerson ties it up with his 21st home run of the season. It came on a 2-0 pitch. Through 2, it's 1-1.
Bay Area is brought to you by Big O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Vigo Tires, the team you trust.
Here in Denver, it's a 1-1 ball game. Vogelsong gives up the home run. I have a pretty good idea that Vogelsong and Bergman both knew what they were getting into today.
Well, you do. I mean, you know the days that favor the hitter. And today the Giants hit, which they don't normally do in a day game after a night game this deep in the season. And so Vogelsong probably took some hacks. And in doing so, you discover yourself by the way the ball comes off your bat just how live the ballpark is.
Here's Panik, who singled in the first inning. And he takes a strike. Buster Posey on deck, and then Hunter Pence.
And if there's anything that is across the board in describing the characteristics of a baseball player, I'm talking both leagues, every division, is every baseball player, by the time they get to the big leagues, they can scout out the environment. They'll tell you how that ballpark's playing. That's the first thing they figure out coming to the ballpark.
This is a little pop-up. Can anybody get to it? No. So life for Panik.
And that's one thing you never turn off as a ball player. You just turn on a game to watch the game, and you're watching. The first thing you're thinking, how's this thing playing? How's the ballpark? Where's the wind? What's the infield like? How fast are the gaps? I mean, you just do. It's instinctive by the time you get to the big leagues. Scout your opponent, scout your environment, scout your teammate.
Four hits for the Giants, 3 for the Rockies. Panik waits. The 0-2 pitch is just outside, maybe low, 1-2.
Nice 0-2 pitch right there. A little paralysis fastball. Now that is 2-seam movement away. You can try and backdoor a slider on the outside corner and nibble that. Come inside. They do above the hands, and that's what Bergman does when he gets a rhythm going, and he's got a pretty good rhythm going with the fastball. He can throw darts. Both these pitchers today are very good at locating their fastballs.
The 1-2 is lined into right field, a base hit. The hits just keep on coming for Joe Panik. Last night, Buster Posey put a charge into one, and that was his 19th of the year. He and Hunter Pence are tied for that lead with 19.
Well, just a simple thing like missing a location. They set the target away, it comes middle in, and boom. Until that point, Lyles hadn't made too many location mistakes.
I don't think I've seen Buster with sunglasses like that. On the ground and a base hit. So back-to-back singles here in the third, and here's Hunter Pence.
Plus the other thing, too, if you're a opposing pitcher like Bergman and you want to know how this ballpark's playing, just take a look at the on-deck circle. When it's a live day and the ballpark's playing short, there's like 5 guys standing on the on-deck circle, like there was at the start of this inning. It's usually a pretty bad sign.
3 guys swinging the bat. They're all about 5 feet from each other.
Can't wait to hit.
Hunter Pence single past LeMahieu. He hit a line drive in the first inning. And this is wrapped. Arenado with a great backhanded play. How about that?
Some of the best hands in the business right there. Last year's Gold Glove winner at third base. I mean, that ball was roped. And I mean, a mean topspin one-hop bullet And he puts a backhand on it all the time in the world to run the bag, and then the off-balance throw off the right foot, and he completes the pair. I mean, that almost could have been a triple play if he'd have been closer to the bag.
Absolutely. Here's Ishikawa, who hit a fly ball to deep left in the first. And the first pitch is down low, 1 ball and no strikes. So Posey at second with 2 outs. And a little low again, 2-0. Three and 0. They may want to face Arias anyway. Here's Joaquin. See if Ishikawa's got the green light. He does. And this is to Arenado, and that's going to end the inning. Promising, but a nice play by Arenado. Bottom of the third coming up. Manager is about managing Hunter Pence. Make sure you put a bowl of kale out there for lunch, and he's good to go.
He's good.
Well, I tell you what, you don't have to worry about right field. Pencil him in for 162 and let her rip.
And how comforting is that for a manager? Just moved from San Francisco, and Crooked Kipe are my only friends here. Gamer babe, we miss you.
Yeah. Plus, we need to get you a better seat.
Yeah, she's up there in the rock pile. When they first opened up Coors Field, those were the seats you could get for $1. And they call it the rock pile.
Here's Blackman. First pitch strike. Blackman, Rutledge, Morneau. Olson comes in tight, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Arias is in at third. And this is over by the Giants dugout, and fan brought his glove and snow coned it.
Adam played perfectly. Nice. See, that's why you brought your glove all the way from San Francisco.
ball and 2 strikes. Blanco. 1 out.
Let's take a look at this fan sitting right behind the bench. Gets up, calls everybody off. I got it, mine. Perfect. Snow cone. And we validated it. You're good.
Here's Rutledge. Rutledge tried to bunt, and if his hand's on the bat, it's a strike.
And that's what Angel Hernandez is saying. That's a rough strike.
Remember, that's what happened to Vogelsong last year.
A 2-seam fastball that kind of heat seeks right in on Rutledge, who had the idea that he was going to bunt. Pinched his finger. And they're going to take a look at it now. Looked like it may have caught his middle finger below the bat.
This is when you don't want to take the glove off.
Yeah, Vogelsong and his throwing hand got hit in a pinky. Broke a pinky in 5 spots. Had to have 5 pins put in it.
Well, it's the one risk you take if you're going to jump out there to bunt, is if that pitch runs in on you, you're moving a bit towards first, and that ball's coming at you, and you look. There's not a whole lot of places you can go, and that ball will run right up on the bat.
Well, here's normal speed. And let's watch it in slow motion. It's such an easy way to break a finger. Bones of the hand are just not designed to take a 90-mile-an-hour fastball head on.
Well, if Buster Posey and Vogelsong are watching all of this, where do you think they might pitch him?
Inside, right at the belt. Tell him it's coming. You take a hand shot like that, you do not want to get jammed.
Could be. This could be a decoy. Maybe it never happened.
Well, if this is a decoy, he's evil.
It's an ostrich.
That's not good.
Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
But hitters, I wouldn't put it past him. I don't question the sincerity of that, though. And Vogelsong right away, breaking ball away, fastball away, staying away.
And a base hit. Pencil tried to cut it off. Rutledge is going to attempt to go, and he made it. He's had good at bats this entire series.
He's been as good as anybody in this Rockies team this series. You can see why he would not want to leave a game. Seeing it as big as this, the whole at bat went away, and here's a hanging slider right at the belt. And to Rutledge's credit, he doesn't try and pull it, just go the opposite way, a bullet. And I think that Hunter Pence was a bit surprised when Rutledge took him on. And he runs it, making it easily.
Here's Morneau, who dumped a single into left field in the first inning. And he takes down low, 1 ball and no strikes. And Vogelsong chases back Rutledge. He's got 2 steals on the year. Hunter Pence on the move. Hunter Pence will make the catch. Tagging is Rutledge. He goes to third. But they retire the very tough Justin Morneau. Fans, follow every Giants game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. You can get live look-ins, instant replays, stats. Download on the App Store or visit sfgiants.com today. So here's Arenado. Arenado lined out to right field in his only other at bat. And the first pitch is a bit wide. Or make it a call strike. I beg your pardon. Yeah, a wide strike.
Wide strike. Perfect. Go out there again.
Blocked by Buster Posey. 1 ball and 1 strike.
What the ultimate nightmare is for a pitcher in this environment, when you know you have a live yard, is if you get a real tight strike zone with an umpire that doesn't like to ring guys up in strike 3 situations. And that really is how the stars line up to where you're going to see 15 to 13 games.
Perez with room as now he drifts back, and that'll end the inning. So Vogelsong pitches through the double, and for the Giants it'll be Arias, Crawford, and Perez coming up.
On Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Play Flag Football. Register your child today at playflagfootball.com.
It's a 1-1 ball game here at Coors Field. We're a little shocked by that because of the conditions. And actually, the one play that has kept the Giants from having the lead in this game was a play by Arenado on the ball that Hunter Pence hit. So here's Arias, who shows bunt.
Well, we have seen some oddities in this game. Arias has been scalding, 9 for his last 20.
And he leads off the inning with a base hit. And that'll bring up Crawford.
With as many balls that have been hit right on the nose, the fact that it's 1-1 after 3 innings is pretty remarkable.
Pretty remarkable.
And you pointed out something to me after the inning.
Yeah.
Not one ground ball out for Ryan Vogelsong.
Infielders are very pleased about that, by the way.
Well, especially after they saw the ball that came off the bat of Hunter pitch to Nolan Arenado. Who wants to get in front of one of those?
Really? Crawford popped out to Rutledge in the second inning. He's been known to hit one out at Coors once in a while. He takes a strike and it's 0-1.
Oh, we always talk about how line drives are contagious. Well, right now, everybody in both dugouts is feeling pretty confident. It's the ultimate challenge for a pitcher. The ultimate.
Absolutely. Bergman gets the sign, and now he'll soft toss to first.
That was called from the Rockies bench.
Dodgers and Nationals are in the fourth inning. No score. Crawford pops it up. McHenry coming back. And he's going to make the play. Time to log on to csnbayarea.com and decide the player of the game. Winner will be revealed during Giants postgame live. You can check out the action on the diamond like never before with enhanced Bloomberg stats. Giants in-game live on csnbayarea.com. You can log on now and vote. Here's Perez, who doubled on the first pitch he saw. And here he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Vogelsong is on deck as he now comes up the steps of the dugout. In tight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pittsburgh and St. Louis, 0-0, 8th inning. So this is pitch number 49 for Christian Bergman. And a strike. It's 1-2.
Nickel slider. Perez was not sitting on that. He was looking for another fastball. Same pitch he hit into left center. His first at bat for a double.
Potential double play ball. And it is. Dickerson, Paulson, McHenry coming up.
broadcast is presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Well, Wednesday the 10th is the first ever Video Gamer Night presented by PlayStation. Your special event package includes access to the pregame video night party, a collector's edition Giants figure of Arno from Assassin's Creed Unity, from the creative direction of legendary artist Todd McFarlane, and a ticket to the Giants D-back games. Reminder, to get the giveaway item, you need to buy a special event ticket. You need to do that. Well, go to sfgiants.com/special events.
Well, we think that at least one of those is a Giants fan.
Good chance.
Yeah.
She's got her T-shirt on.
Dickerson hit a home run in his first at bat and only at bat.
Well, it was impressive. Got an off-speed pitch, looking for it. It was up, and boy, did he put a charge into it. Over 400 foot home run, number 21 on the year for Dickerson.
No balls and one strike.
I mean, it's got a little yucca-do in that swing right there. He's not swinging for singles.
Paulson on deck, and then McHenry. And another strike, and it's 0-2. Song, pitch count wise, pretty good. And that pitch is high, 1-2.
Yeah, 41 going into the fourth. That's good. By the end of the fourth, you want to be 60 or less, so he's ahead of the pace. Vogelsong today has not had one 3-ball count. So he has done what you need to do on a day like this. He's been aggressive. Tomorrow's off day. As the Giants will board a plane and head to Detroit, they will have an off day tomorrow. Could not come at a better time for the Giants bullpen. A little chewed on.
Crawford gets the first ground ball of the afternoon, and he throws out Dickerson.
Every ball just looks like it just explodes on infielders.
I asked him about it today. He said, yeah, he said it is really, really fast. He said, but the one thing,
Crawford?
Yeah, he noticed is at the end of the game how exhausted that you are from being on your feet all those long innings. And, you know, we talked about that yesterday, but it has to have something to do with the injury factor here with the Rockies players. Olsen takes a strike.
Well, it's just a theory that we have, but I mean, you see a lot of 3-hour plus games, and I'm not talking about 305s and 303s. We're talking about 330, 340. That's a long time. Those are long games. And when you're on your feet as a defensive player, and you're walking off this field with tired legs consistently, sooner or later you're going to break down.
Yeah. And the 0-2 pitch is high, 1-2. Out of play. Jerry Schemmel, one of the radio broadcasters here, talking to him before the game, and he runs marathons. And he said the amount of time it takes your body to rebound after running one here compared to in like San Francisco, he said it's incredible. Just how much longer it takes you to get everything back. Got him.
Good fastball. And we just learned that Ben Paulson guesses in 2-strike counts. He was not looking fastball here. See ya. Perfect fastball outside corner at the knees.
I told Jerry that, you know, my marathon experience was kind of the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a candy bar, wasn't it?
Watching, you know, the show 24, just watching them consistently. It's
Yeah.
a marathon.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Here's McHenry.
The last time the Giants and the Rockies will meet today. Interesting, the last 3 games of the Dodgers schedule, they play the Rockies in Los Angeles. And the reason I bring this up is Michael Kadire, who is on the disabled list with a hamstring problem, will probably be active and able to play those last 3 games, which could be significant.
So you're saying Kadire is going to be the Dodger killer?
Well, it would be nice to have him in the lineup when the Dodgers play their Rockies, no doubt. And you know that Kadire wants to come off the DL before the end of the season because he's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. He wants to let everybody know that he's healthy and he's good.
I mean, there's another guy that, since he's been in Colorado, has just had a hard time staying on the field.
Yeah.
When he is on the field, my goodness, he put up some great numbers. Two and two to McHenry.
Wilson thought the inning was over.
Well, I think he got that pitch earlier.
Outside corner, just a little slider perhaps falling out of the zone. Close.
It stays at 3-2. Should McHenry reach, it would be DJ LeMahieu.
Well, one of the concerns for every major league trainer is keeping athletes hydrated during the course of the season. But I think here, and I mean, maybe Arizona, because the air is so dry and arid, might be a little emphasis here more than other cities.
So the walk, the first one issued by Vogelsong, and here's DJ LeMahieu.
But you and I both played Denver when we were in AAA ball. Back in when we played, it was the American Association. Denver was a AAA town. And we played here, and it is different.
In tight, 1 ball and no strikes.
There's a reason why the Olympic teams train up here. Not as much oxygen in the air here at the high level of altitude. They're a mile high. Beautiful look of the Rocky Mountains.
We used to see that from our booth here, but not anymore.
Yeah, they've taken that look away.
So LeMahieu ahead in the count, 2-0. And he fouls it back, so he had count leverage, and he let her rip.
That was a healthy rip. As Bochy was talking about, happy that this was the last game that they would have to play this year in Coors Field, because this is a Coors Field ballpark that is kind of an X factor in the minds of managers. There's a lot of things here that are different than any other place in the league, and because of that, you know, there's a question mark in what you can anticipate, what you can expect, how the game's going to be played, and you're concerned about the wear and tear it has on your players and your bullpens.
Two and two to DJ LeMahieu. Got him, and that'll end the inning. Second time that Vogelsong has struck out LeMahieu looking. For our Togo's big play, the Togo's way. Last night, Andrew Susac, the kid. That's right, he's just a kid. And he hits a 2-run home run in the 6th inning off of Jordan Lyles. And that brought the Giants a little closer, and that's when they started to believe. That's our Togo's big play, Susac. I mean, it was kind of news that Susac wasn't in the lineup today. I mean, who'd have ever thought we'd be saying that?
Yeah, that's how quickly he's established himself up here since he's been called up.
Plus, we had him on the postgame show. He did a good job. He's a good ad. And here's Vogelsong. Vogelsong reached on a fielder's choice in the second. And he bounces this one foul. Vogelsong's had better swings. I'm telling you, that little talk you had with him has really helped.
Yeah, my motivational speech.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh yeah. Well, we did tease him. So we were telling people you can hit. What's the deal? Making us look bad. Let's go.
And he agrees. He does not even argue anymore. On the ground to second. And LeMahieu's going to throw him out. 1 out.
When we first saw Ryan Vogelsong call the big leagues, he got up there, and you'd have thought he was an everyday player watching batting practice. And for the longest time, he was hitting around 200, and then it just changed. I mean, as you age in the game, your arm doesn't let you take big swings anymore.
Look, there's a way to look at it. The worse he got as a hitter, the better he got as a pitcher.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's a really good exchange. Blanco is singled and he's popped up. Had a pitch to hit in the second and popped it out to right field. Here he takes high. Panic and then Posey.
.339 on base percentage, and that's fantastic. And one thing he's been doing in this hot streak is taking a lot of walks. And that really does run your on base percentage up. And for a guy like Blanco, I mean, what's more important, on base percentage or batting average? You can hit .259, but if you're getting on base at a .340 clip, you're doing your job.
Yep. And Berkman comes in with a strike. It's 3-1. Blanco taking all the way. Probably will not be here. And he drives it down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Maybe 3, depending how Paulson gets it out, and he doesn't get it out. And Blanco's got a triple. And that's his second hit of the game.
Well, we're going to make it our Ford-Ride choice. He worked the count 3-1. They set the target away. It goes middle in, right above the belt. He spins on it, rakes it right down the line, and he knows that you got to think 3 when it gets down that corner. Not an easy play. And Paulson, who has not a lot of experience in that right field here at Coors Field, a bit of a misplay, and it costs the Rockies 90 feet, and that's a big play, because that changes the way the defense is played in the infield.
Here's Panic. Panic is triples for the Giants. That's the most in the major leagues. So your feeling was right about triples.
We saw Brandon Crawford hit his 10th one last night. Some nice blocks being put on in this at bat by McHenry, the catcher for the Rockies.
Well, that's 3. It's 3 and 2, and all 3 balls have been in the same spot.
Hunter Pence also has 10 triples. When was the last time you saw 2 guys on one team have 10 triples?
Panic on the ground, and LeMahieu spears it.
Oh, man, that's just another great play. You talk about just a good example of nice hands. This is it. You saw it earlier in the game from Arenado at third base, and here LeMahieu, the second baseman, shows off just how sweet his hands are. You don't have a lot of time to react. That ball was hit right on the nose.
I think McHenry went out and had a word with Berkman about what to do with Buster Posey.
Well, you should know.
And a call strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
So he puts those sunglasses on. Does he remind you of Jeff Kent?
No.
Not even a little?
Nope, not even a little. And a base hit to left field. And Buster Posey does it again, and it's 2-1 Giants.
Well, Bergman going right at him. You make a mistake middle into Posey right now. He is going to make you pay. And they set up inside. And that was not a bad pitch. That was sink just a little bit above the knees, working his way into him, and he stays inside it and just drops the head. And just like that, the Giants get the lead.
Here's Pence. The last 13 games, that's what he's done.
20 RBIs. Hitting 500. Now, aren't catchers supposed to get tired this time of year?
No. Bruce Bochy's done a pretty good job of moving them around.
He is not tired. And this is day game after night game.
This is lined right at the shortstop Rutledge, and that'll end the inning. Bergman, Blackman, Rutledge coming up. Seats from Candlestick Park, they are on sale. And the Candlestick Park legends, Steve Young and Jerry Rice, are now part of the autographed seat options. Some other options. How about this? Mays Montana, Mays McCovey, McCovey Will Clark. And again, just added Steve Rice, or Steve Young and Jerry Rice. Oh, and then others. Go to sfgiants.com/candlestick memories. Young and Rice just added. Check it out. The rooftop.
That's a good ad. New section of Coors Field that opened up this year. They took out a lot of seats up there in the bleachers and right field.
Here's my problem with the rooftop.
What's that?
Check to see how many people have their backs to the game.
Yeah. Well, can't explain that.
More people should be facing the field.
Well, you get a $14 rooftop ticket, though. $6 goes to concession credit. Now, that's the deal. So that'll buy you about a half a beer.
Yeah.
Always good scenery up there.
I mean, scenery looking out into the park?
No.
Or you mean as far as people watching?
Yeah.
Here's Blackman. He's lined out to center, and he's hit a fly ball to left. He swings and misses.
That's a good curveball, and he hadn't thrown many of those.
Yeah, it broke down a pretty good hitter.
Backed it up. You know, the curveball's kind of a funny pitch where you can start the game and not have it, and then all of a sudden you get out there to the 5th inning and whoop, there it is. A gift. And that may be what has happened with Vogelsong, because those are 2 good ones.
And a show me fastball, 1-2. Cardinals won 1-0. Beat the Pirates today. Afternoon game in St. Louis. Things are jumping in downtown St. Louis.
Big win.
Blanco, another long run, and chase the young man with the stool and the helmet.
I mean, give him a glove. Come on.
Take the walkie-talkie away, give him the glove.
And take off one flap or add a flap.
Just an observation.
That's Todd Helton's old helmet.
1 ball and 2 strikes. He got him. 4 strikeouts for Vogelsong.
First swinging strike 3. Did he go? Yeah, he did. See it here.
Rutledge is flied out, and then he doubled in the right center field.
He has not been fooled. And I'm not talking about just against Vogelsong. This whole series, he's been one good at bat after another.
Well, now he's ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. (3-0). Vogelsong issued 1 walk. That was to McHenry in the 4th. Pitch count wise, you can see he's at 70. And he just pours in a strike at 92. That's pretty good 3-0 velocity fastball for Vogelsong.
Good location. That's all he needs. Remember, there was a time last year when he was having mechanical problems. He was throwing 88, 87. Yep. Mechanics have been sound pretty consistently all year.
Came back with another one. Giants with a 2-1 lead here in the 5th inning. And the walk.
Well, it's time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag CSNBA fan photo, your full name and hometown, for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. This one's from Victoria Colgis from San Jose. Miss Isabel is ready to go to the game and go to AT&T Park. Yep, she's a gamer. Check out her orange and black. She's got her striped socks on and her smile.
She's
ready
decked
for the
out.
game. Let's go, Miss Isabel.
Here's Morneau. Morneau takes a wide strike, and it's 0-1. Still no score in that Nationals-Dodgers game. That game now has moved along to the 6th inning.
So that guy we've never heard of is dealing, huh?
Base hit. Morneau just kind of poked at that pitch away. So here's Arenado. This is how you hit 300, Mike.
You're right. It's a nice low finish, and it's a flat swing. Keep that bat in the strike zone a long time, and absolutely increase your chances to hit for a higher average, which you'll work at.
Arenado's lined out to right. He's flied out to center field. Drilled to left. Blanco back at the wall. It is gone. Now it can change. A 2-out walk, a single, and a home run. And it's 4-2 Colorado.
How it can change in this ballpark. You're right. And now you start to really get upset with yourself if you Vogelsong about the walk. Fastball, middle in. He flipped the bat away like he knew it was out of here, and I think it almost scraped the top of the fence.
So here's Dickerson. Dickerson homered in the second. And he hits one well to left. Blanco's going to watch it go. His second of the game. And Dave Urgetty's going to come out.
First pitch breaking ball, and not a bad one either. It's such an unbelievable groove that Dickerson is in. I mean, I got to believe he's looking for an off-speed ball, because he goes the opposite way with it. And again, that was not a hanger. First pitch. I mean, you're going to elevate to get in the strike zone, and he was sitting on it. Wow, impressive at bat. So Urgetty going to come out there and just say, be patient. It's 5-2. Get us back in here. We'll get more runs. Little pat on the back. Pump a guy up. He knows that Vogelsong's steaming. He was a strike away from getting out of this inning with a quick 1-2-3 shutdown inning, and all of a sudden it's gone weird.
So here's Paulson, and he drives him down the left field line, and this is foul. Blanco nearly caught the ball by Arenado, didn't he? Fouled at the plate. It's 0-2. He got him, and that'll end the inning. 2 home runs here in the 5th. Arenado, a 3-run home run. Dickerson, a solo shot. As we head now to the 6th inning, it's 5-2. Post game live Sunday, September 7th, immediately following the game. So check out the game, change the channel, and check out 49ers post game live right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. 5-2, Colorado. Stubbs is now in center field. Blackman moves from center to right. And Ishikawa is going to face Christian Bergman.
So Ben Paulson out of the game.
Ishikawa is flied out and he's popped out. And here he looks at a strike.
You have to be patient. We talked about it in yesterday's ball game. Ballpark will present opportunities for you offensively. Be patient, grind your at-bats.
And look, 2 outs, nobody on. You see what can happen here.
Oh, yeah, as innocent as a 2-out walk seems. Wow. The doors fly open. Welcome to Coors Field.
3-1 now to Ishikawa. Giants will take a walk. Foul back, 3-2. And Berkman hadn't walked anybody, so he's been around the plate. He's really benefited from a couple of very nice plays. Arenado at third, LeMahieu at second. Ishikawa bounces one to Morneau.
So a nice comeback there from Bergman. Down the count.
Here's Arias, 1 for 2. Arias singled in the 4th inning. And here he pops one down the right field line. That is going to be out of play. Crawford waiting on deck. 5-2 Rockies, 6th inning. And this pop-up is right out to Rutledge. And it drops. I have no idea what LeMahieu was doing.
Absolutely no idea what he was doing. LeMahieu, the second baseman, comes right over to what was pretty much straightaway shortstop position. And there you see where LeMahieu is.
I mean, unless for a second he thought Rutledge couldn't see it.
Well, the ballpark will present opportunities. You just have to be patient. Here's one. It'll be a base hit.
When you're hot, you're hot. And here's Crawford.
For a young pitcher, I mean, you can lose your concentration over a play like that. I think McHenry's going to come out there and try and get him back on track.
They're going to blame LeMahieu for that pop-up falling, and that would be correct.
Well, I think it should be an error, but I mean, it didn't hit a glove, but I mean, that really should be an error.
I think the whole "it didn't hit a glove" thing is overrated, to be honest with you.
We saw a no-hitter that there was a drop pop-up last year. Do you remember the game?
Kind of.
Well, it was a ball that should have been caught. Wasn't. Pop-up like that, and it was called an error.
It's coming back. It's coming back to me.
It kept the no-hitter going. But I think that's the right call.
Absolutely.
You can't penalize a pitcher and put a hit on it, a possible earned run out for, which is a can of corn pop-up.
Did David Ortiz hit it? And then he made a big stink about it?
Yes. And they wound up having another hit in the game. Then, a couple days later, he wound up getting the hit. They changed it.
It's 1-0 to Crawford. Crawford skies one into center field. Stubbs is coming in. And that'll bring up Perez. Perez is doubled and he's hit into a double play. Popped him up. Arenado's going to put it away and that'll end the inning. So Berkman pitches through the air and McHenry's going to lead it off.
Bay Area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers, offering business and personal insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. Visit us at hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
A 5-2 lead for the Rockies here in the home half of the sixth inning.
Probably going to be Ryan Vogelsong's last inning with him due to lead things off for the Giants at the top of the seventh. As he gets set to face the bottom three hitters of the Rockies lineup.
So here's McHenry. Hit a soft line drive to Crawford, and then he drew a walk in the fourth. And here he takes low.
Jake Peavy talking it over with Madison Bumgarner, saying how many people you think there are out in the bleachers in left field?
There's a strike. Gets 1 ball and 1 strike.
Not a whole lot today. Home run goes up there, you got a chance.
Is our friend in the rock pile still holding up the sign?
Yep. Oh yeah. Gamer.
So we're going to foul back. It's 1-2. Yeah.
Yep. Just moved from San Francisco. Crew type are my only friends here.
If somebody knows this woman back in the Bay Area, would you call her and tell her she can put the sign down?
We have seen it.
It's great.
Her voice has been heard.
Yes. Just relax and put that sign down and enjoy this great comeback.
And these are your friends talking to you.
I don't see any movement up there. Nobody's calling her. Two pitch is outside, 3-2.
The corner that was a little wide early in the game has just gotten a little bit tighter.
Out of play.
At the end of the 5th inning, Giants had Juan Gutierrez start to throw. So if Vogelsong were to get into the stretch position, you might see Gutierrez back up rather quickly. Pitch count not a huge issue, but it's getting close.
Out of play again. So it stays 3-2.
22 pitches in the 4th, 20 in the 5th.
And that was a healthier rip by McHenry. He does have a lifetime home run off of Vogelsong. LeMahieu on deck. Hit into center field and hit well. Perez back, looking up, gone. It's his 6th of the year.
Well, that's a heck of an at-bat. Consider all the stuff he fought off. And it comes at a 3-2 count. Vogelsong not going to walk him, challenges him, and McHenry takes on the deep part of the yard. And he says, hey, I got a little power too. And this really is an impressive at bat. And it gives you an idea of just how hot this yard's playing today. And that's 3 of the last 4 hitters against Vogelsong have homered.
Here's LeMahieu. And LeMahieu with a yuckadoo swing, and it's 0-1. Down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Kyle Parker is on deck. Crawford is going to knock it down, and that's the best he can do. So it is Gutierrez that's getting loose.
So Dave Righetti going to take a long, slow walk from the Giants dugout out to Vogelsong, because the contact here has gotten very loud. And this is a base hit all the way. Top spin bullet, quick infield. Wow. I saw you cringe, partner.
Well, if you can play it off to the side, you're okay.
So Dave Righetti going to take a long time and make Angel Hernandez, the plate umpire, come all the way out to break up the rock pile.
So here's Parker. Parker 1 for 10. And the first pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Parker, a good solid year at Colorado Springs this year. 30 doubles, 3 triples, 15 home runs.
Vogelsong now in trouble, 2-0. Swinging a foul into the glove of Buster Posey. 2 balls and 1 strike. Blackman is on deck. And this is hit into shallow center field. And what is that called?
That's a Coors Field hit.
So that's going to do it for Vogelsong. Home run, single. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and auto service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
Game 1 of a 3-game series in Detroit Friday, 4 p.m. pregame live at 3:30 p.m. to see it right here in Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Complete Giants coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNBayArea.com with Giants insider Andrew Baggerly. The home of your San Francisco Giants is right here in Comcast Sportsnet.
Pretty frustrating afternoon for Vogelsong.
Oh, you're right. He pitched well and doesn't have anything to show for it.
Under the conditions, I thought he pitched well.
Juan Gutierrez inherits the baseball. 56th time that Gutierrez has come into a game. Has been on the shelf for the last week or so with a little tendonitis in his bicep, but that was all gone by the wayside. Throwing good again, feeling good again. When he's right, you're going to see a mid-90s fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup. 38 strikeouts against 12 walks in 57 innings. And he will face the top of the Rockies lineup.
Giants trying to keep it at a 4-run deficit. Blackman against Vogelsong was 0 for 3. And the bunt. And Arias will make the play.
Still feels strange.
Well, I'm not even sure if that's a good play or not, to be honest with you.
Rockies with a 4-run lead, bunting to move 2 runners up in score position with a guy like Blackman, who's got 66 RBIs and 17 home runs. I scratch my head a little bit on that as well, especially as to how this ballpark is playing today. I think that's a break. Giants get an out.
Giants now play the infield in. And the first pitch is down low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Pure strikeout situation for Juan Gutierrez.
Into the gap. And that's going to knock in a pair. LeMahieu scores. Parker scores. And Crawford's throw goes over Arias. It wouldn't have mattered. So Rutledge with a triple. All right, let's check in with Greg Papa in our studio for an update. All right, thanks, Greg. And here's Morneau, and he takes a breaking ball outside, 1-0. It's 8-2 here with 1 out, and Rutledge at third in the infield in. And that's wide again.
Now the Giants are playing that infield in, as you suggested, because of the fast infield. They're not even with the grass. Back a couple steps. Still have a chance to get Rutledge at third if he should try to go home.
Here's Perez. Remember, he's got a pretty good arm. He's going to catch. Here's his throw, and it's late. And it's 9-2. Four runs here in the 6th inning. And here's Arenado.
See the tag, just too much depth, too much speed from Rutledge. Nice at bat from Morneau. I think that's one thing I've been impressed with this whole series.
So Arenado gets hit
with a breaking ball. I've been impressed with Morneau's at bats. He's got bat control for a guy with power.
Yep.
That's something that sticks out. So first pitch breaking ball up and into Arenado, and Rockies get another runner.
Here's Dickerson, a couple of solo home runs today. Center field. Hit well. Side retired. McHenry led off the inning with a home run to straightaway center field. It's 9-2 Colorado. A local Toyota dealer. Tight game until the Rockies broke it open with 4 runs in the 5th inning. Christian Berkman has got a chance to win this one. Buster Posey is hot. And 4 Rockies home runs. Dickerson's got a pair, Arenado and McHenry. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
Christian Friedrich, the new pitcher now for the Rockies. 8th time he's come in. Swingman. He's had 3 starts. 0-4 with a 7.50 ERA. He's a low 90s fastball, curveball slider, changeup guy. 31 base runners in 18 innings allowed.
Gary Brown is going to hit. And this will be his first major league at bat. So welcome to the big leagues, kid.
Indeed, Giants first round pick in 2010. There's this year, hit 271 with 10 homers, 53 RBIs.
And he takes a strike.
Brown had 36 stolen bases for the Fresno Grizzly.
A lot of his teammates watching.
Well, 5 years in the minor leagues, and here's the long-awaited first at bat.
And he might have a Coors Field hit. What do you think? No, it's Dickerson who makes a sliding catch. Quite an afternoon for Dickerson.
He had to go a long way for this. I'm thinking this is a Coors Field hit, no problem.
I do too.
And out of nowhere, here he comes. Looks like he had fun making that play too, of going into the slide. So 2 home runs for Dickerson. Now he makes a nice defensive play. And everybody going, oh, Adam Duvall, Matt Duffy.
Here's Blanco. Blanco's had a nice day, 2 for 3, a single and a triple. And he takes a strike. Dodgers are leading now the Nationals 2-0. That game in the 7th. Culberson is now at short. He will hit in the 9th spot. No, he'll hit second, and there's a shot off of Morneau to LeMahieu, and they got him. You ever think maybe it's not your game?
Well, I mean, those are kind of indicators right there, but a nice play from LeMahieu, just moving to his left as the ball kicks off of Morneau to the bare hand, little shuffle step, and just throws a strike right over to Friedrich, and indeed they get him. Yeah, that's kind of an indicator right there. But in the end, a beautiful play.
Here's Panic. Panic is 2 for 3. And he looks at a strike. Buster Posey's on deck. This is the 7th. Back-to-back 4-run innings for the Rockies.
This is the kind of day you're going to see a lot of debuts. Saw Gary Brown make his debut.
There's a little pop-up behind third for Culberson. And that'll end the inning. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Stubbs is going to lead things off. Here in Denver, it's a 9-2 lead for the Colorado Rockies. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
Well, if you like fastballs, you are about to see a good one. Eric Cordier now making his major league debut. This year down in Fresno is 4-3 with a 3.59 ERA, 68 strikeouts at 52 2/3, and he'll run it up there 3 figures. A fastball, slider. Primarily, you're going to see a lot of blaze.
I did see one go to the backstop.
Backstop. He's from Wisconsin. And how do you pronounce it? DePierre?
Yeah.
Born in Green Bay. 28 years old. and has always had the reputation of being able to just reach back and below. And this really is a great day for Cordier. He missed 2 whole years in the minor leagues with injuries. Rebuilt his elbow a couple times. And spent a lot of times in the minor league. I mean, his first year was 2004. So after 11 years in the minor leagues, he's making his debut here. So congratulations, Eric Cordier. And good luck. Go get him.
Stubbs will lead things off. And a high fastball, 1 ball and no strikes.
At 100 miles an hour. Just to introduce himself. And I guarantee he just got Drew Stubbs' attention. That is popping the glove. Throw a good arm, mix it in with a little first day in the big leagues adrenaline. 100 miles an hour. And there's the breaking ball at 87. So right now Drew Stubbs is saying, who is this guy?
He's saying September stinks. Up high.
At 101. So you see, well, what took him so long? Well, balls and strikes. 573 minor league innings prior to this year. He had 321 walks. I mean, it's just wild. He had great arm, just couldn't always put it in the strike zone.
Well, he needs to put one in here, otherwise he's going to walk Stubbs. Got him.
I mean, he is humping up. He hadn't even seen 90 yet with the fastballs. It's been 100, 101. And you're talking about blowing one right through a good fastball hitter in his zone. Take a look at the power from Eric Cordier, 6'4", 215-pounder. A drop and drive guy right out over the front foot. I mean, that's a nice compact motion.
When do you think they weighed and put down that 215?
Probably about 6 years ago. He's got about 225 or 230 on him now. But he does not lack for stuff. We saw him in spring training, and we were not watching as he was warming up. We heard the first pitch pop the glove, and at the same time we both looked up as if somebody just drove a car into the center field wall. And it's easy. It's an easy 100. It doesn't look like he's maxing out. They always say throw at a speed you control, and I think this is his speed that he's throwing at that he can control. And that's scary.
And that's just a bit high.
Took a little off.
2 balls and 1 strike.
At 99.
And that's hit out of play. It's 2-2.
At times, when a guy who throws this hard is wild, it could be a nightmare to catch. Because you want to catch that ball in the sweet spot of your glove. Because if you don't, you catch it in the wrong part of your hand at that velocity, it'll make you cry. 101. I mean, that's fast.
and the walk. So, I mean, look, that's what you're going to get, right?
Yeah.
I mean, until things change.
Oh, you know,
It's a second 3-2 count. Faced 2 hitters.
originally he signed with Kansas City, second round pick in 2004. That's how he started with the Royals. Then Atlanta picked him up, and then Pittsburgh picked him up. Giants got him in November of 2013. So, I mean, it has been a frustrating journey for him at times because, you know, he's got the stuff. No doubt about that. As we said, from Green Bay, he's 28 years old, second round pick. 213 career minor league games. He was a starter in 105 of those games. Finally put him in the bullpen. And it's just a matter of could they ever get him in the strike zone consistently. And through his career, he's averaged about 5 walks a game. And throws a lot of pitches. Pitch count, he hits the pitch counter early as a starter, which kind of is what got him in the bullpen. But it is fun to look at the radar gun when he's out there because he lights it up.
So it's 1-2 to LeMahieu. And he pops it up into shallow left field as Crawford shades his eyes. And he'll make the catch.
But you can imagine the frustration all those years with that type of fastball, and it hasn't been your friend. You haven't been able to control it. But here he is finally. And it's got to be a great feeling for him to put that big league uniform on.
Here's Matt McBride. Couple of home runs, 6 driven in. And he fouls it back, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
The highest speed ever recorded is a 105-mile-an-hour fastball that Aroldis Chapman threw. Is it the fastest fastball ever? Well, on record. Although there are great stories of guys throughout the minor leagues that never made it to the big leagues.
Or great stories before they had the radar gun, or 40s and 50s.
Bob Feller. They had a lot of different ways they used to try and time Bob Feller, but it was never accurate. I mean, it was always, it caught your imagination how they would run a motorcycle behind him and try and time him as he released the ball to see who got to the certain area at a certain time, knowing that the motorcycle was going 100 miles an hour.
A really good way of doing it.
That's all they could come up with.
Pitches high, 1-2.
Have one guy risk his life. But you know, you think about it, when the speed gun came into baseball, it changed everything for us. Pitching coaches used to be so critical of the ballparks that would put the speed gun up, but the fans loved it. And now we like it. Look out.
So McBride is hit, and that'll bring up Blackman.
All right, so you want to take it at bat against 100 miles an hour. And here is where it got him, and McBride's lucky. It just grazed him. But I can guarantee he'll be talking about that after the game. And it might leave a unique bruise that's about 9 inches across his chest.
Blackman is 0 for 3. And he has a half swing, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
He was going to go up there and swing no matter what. But that's what you have to do against 100. You got to start early. You got to launch in that zone. It's not like you're going to sit there and identify it and then pull off a swing at 100 miles an hour. Forget that. You have to cheat.
And this one is wide. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Culberson is on deck. Charlie Culberson, the former Giant. Blackman fouls it back. 1 and 2.
Right on it. Guy fouls you straight back. He's got you timed. And that was 98.
McKendry at second. McBride at first. Two and 2.
Try to put a little more on it.
It always doesn't work, does it?
No. Not always.
And Blackman hits a little pop-up, and it's going to be Crawford who puts it away, and that'll end the inning. 8th inning coming up. Giants have lots of work to do.
At AT&T Park, members have access to the field pregame, the game room on the suite level with bowling and billiards, and the Gotham Clubhouse located inside the out-of-town scoreboard, which features one-of-a-kind views of the field and the bay, McCovey Cove. Club membership is limited, so for information, call 415-972-1883 or email gothamclub@sfgiants.com. It is very cool.
So you're a Gotham Club guy.
Yeah, we went the last homestand. It was fantastic. We went to, we've seen both of them. The one is on the 4th level, club level. The other one is out behind the out-of-town scoreboard in right field.
Yeah. I went bowling, remember?
Yes, you did.
When it's time for a change thing, Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
Swingman Juan Nicasio, the new pitcher now for the Rockies, 5-6 with a 5.82 ERA. You see a low to mid-90 fastball with 2 types of breaking ball and a changeup.
So here's Buster Posey, and he takes low. Buster today is 2 for 2. He's got 2 RBIs. He had a sacrifice fly in the first. And Buster Posey has got his average at 305. He is not that far from the leader in the National League.
And the way he's swinging the bat right now leads you to believe that he's going to give it a shot of winning another batting crown.
Fouls this one out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. There's Hunter Strickland getting loose in the bullpen. Hunter Pence on deck. Bounces it foul. There's that pitch you're talking about, Mike, that pitchers have been so unsuccessful against Buster Posey, and that's that fastball in.
Well, the way that he's swinging the bat right now, I mean, remember it was Nicasio. He hit the walk-off home run off him.
Yep.
And that fastball was above the belt, in with movement working its way into him, and he barreled it and hit it out of the ballpark.
Two and 2 on the appeal. No swing.
Paul Nauert, first base umpire, making the call.
And Buster Posey, who does that pretty well. He'll spoil a really good pitch to get another one.
Well, great location on the pitch. When you take a hot hitter's legs out of a swing with location, you made a good pitch. But you're right. I mean, Posey, how many times have we seen him do this in this hot streak where, I mean, he'll fight off a nasty pitch only to get a mistake, and then bingo, he gets a base hit.
Skies this one out into right center field. It'll be Stubbs who makes the catch. And that'll bring up Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence has scalded the ball 3 times today, and he's 1 for 3. So Nicasio throws, and Pence takes a strike.
Nice fastball at 96. Nicasio has always been one of those guys that kind of teased you with great stuff, but consistency has not been something he's been able to harness yet.
Bounces this one to deep third, and Pence is gone.
So 2 pretty good fastballs coming out of the Giants bullpen with Eric Cordier, and as you see Hunter Strickland getting set to, he will pitch the bottom of the 8th.
So 48 threw some pitches, but we were impressed, as you would imagine, with his fastball. Here's Ishikawa. Strike to Ishikawa, who's 0 for 3. Ishikawa rolls it right into the Rockies dugout, so it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Jordan Lyles, last night's pitcher for the Rockies. At one point in that game had a 7-1 lead, only to get a no decision.
Ishikawa is done, and that'll end the inning. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It remains 9-2 Colorado.
Time now for our Honda Player of the Game. We think Corey Dickerson, left fielder for the Rockies today, deserves that distinction. A 2-home run day, his 21st and 22nd of the year. This one came off of Ryan Vogelsong in the 2nd inning, and he got him again in the 5th. It was a breaking ball, not a bad one. He went the opposite way with it and backspinned it right out of here on a hot day at Coors Field. And he also did it with a glove. Corey Dickerson, our Honda Player of the Game.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair expert.
Hunter Strickland, the new pitcher now for the Giants. Second time we've seen him here in Colorado in the year. 1-1, 11 saves and 11 save ops, 48 strikeouts against 4 walks and 35 2/3. Another high 90s high velocity fastball with a hard slider. He also has a changeup. We did not see it in his first outing. It was pretty much fastballs and sliders.
And he'll face Culberson. Here's the manager's kid getting loose.
Brett Bochy. Heart rate right about now 196.
Ooh.
Brett Bochy and Bruce Bochy about 216. Of course, that'll accelerate if he trots out from the bullpen. So we'll see how things go. But this is definitely the kind of a ball game that you want to bring in your newbies.
Here's Culberson batting for the first time. And the first pitch strike, and it's 0-1.
Hunter Strickland originally signed by the Boston Red Sox 2007. Then the Pirates acquired him in 2009. They traded Adam LaRoche.
And it's fouled straight back. It's 0-2.
And then the Pirates waived him in 2013. Giants claimed him. And I would expect to see this guy making contributions at the major league level pretty soon.
Got him.
See, 98 mile an hour 0-2 fastball. Culberson gone. Strickland, a big guy, 6'4", 220. It's a nice, easy, compact motion with that high velocity. And Culberson must have been looking for a knuckleball. Let's take a look at this. Compact out of the stretch, right over the top. Not a long stride either. Pretty compact motion from his lower body.
Morneau, 2 hits and a sacrifice fly. And he rolls this one. Panic. Got him. Nice play.
Wow. I mean, I didn't think he had a chance to get that thing.
I think he got a little extendo out of that left arm.
I mean, he winds up completely parallel to the ground. Quickly to his feet. And in the end, it's just a big league hang with him for Justin Morneau. Kind of looks like Dwayne Kuiper on that play. I've seen you do that.
Now or maybe 35 years ago.
About 35 years ago.
Or as I like to say it, about 35 pounds ago. Arenado looking fastball, getting fastball, and he fouls it straight back.
He was diving in there.
And that pop-up is out of play. It's 0-2. Slowly hit. Crawford. Not in time.
And oh yeah, by the way, Nolan Arenado could run a little bit. I don't think Crawford could have gotten rid of that ball any quicker than he did. Let's take a look at the replay. Quickly. They got him. And Bruce Bochy says nope. Right there, I don't think they would have overturned that anyway. So a base hit for Arenado, his second of the day. If that was a tie ball game, we'd be reviewing it.
I believe you're right. So here's Dickerson. And a strike to Dickerson. Strickland sets right at the letters. And this pop-up is going to be out of play. And did he get Buster Posey on the backswing?
I think he did. Let's watch the backspin as it comes around. I think it takes the glove right off. No, it hits him in the hand. Posey swings the hand down and then the glove comes off.
0-2.
Just a reminder of your position. And he will enjoy his off day tomorrow.
One and two.
So when they hit you on the top of the hand with a bat, what do you get to do as a catcher? You get to catch 98-mile-an-hour fastballs. That's a rough position, man. That's a rough position.
Two and two.
99, absolutely in the glove, and it just missed.
Well, tune in to Murph and Mac, the morning show on KNBR. Tomorrow morning, I'll talk about the game with Murph and Mac on KNBR 680, the sports leader. Let's pop back and out of play. Did you not mention Adam LaRoche about 5 minutes ago?
Yes, I did. What happened?
Well, he just tied the game in L.A. with a 2-run home run in the 9th inning.
Well, I always liked the guy, but now I love him.
Christmas card. Two and two. And a full count.
He's just missing that outside corner. What was there early in the game is no longer there. He tried to wrap a slider around, but Dickerson lives to see another pitch.
And the runner goes. And this is hit well into center field. And again, Perez back. And that's going to end the inning. So here comes the 9th. And it's 9-2 Colorado. Madison Bumgarner named National League Pitcher of the Month. Second time this year.
Nice going. Well, 6 starts, 4-1 with a 1.57 ERA, 56 strikeouts against 3 walks. And in those 46 innings, he allows just 26 hits. Yeah, I'd say that's deserving.
Scheduled to face David Price on Saturday.
That'll be a good one.
I doubt he'll back down.
No, he likes those challenges.
The grounds crew is out.
Well, they had to do a little repair on the mound.
It'll be Arias to lead things off. Arias. And it looks like we're going to get a chance to see Chris Dominguez, because he's standing next to Arias. What did Bruce Bochy say about Chris Dominguez?
One of the nicest kids he's ever been around.
So he's always got a smile on his face.
Well, he's about ready to take his first big league at bat. His mother and father are here.
So here's Arias. Arias is 1 for 3. And a first pitch strike. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Pull past Tim Flannery off the tarp. There's the Flan man. And the 0-2 pitch is out of play.
They had promised today that we were going to see 90 degrees, and it took us until the 9th inning before it has finally registered 90. 2 minutes after 4 here.
And a base hit for Arias. And that's how this rally and this unbelievable comeback for the Giants got started.
It all started with an opposite field 2-strike knock.
So here's Dominguez. This is his major league debut.
Plenty of power. 21 home runs this year for Dominguez. Big guy, 6'4", 235-pounder. And Dominguez, 27 years of age.
Bounces this one. It could be a pair. And that's a double play. As Gaylord Perry told me when I did that in my first at bat, you're 0 for 2.
Well,
and I believed him. I thought the rules were different in the big leagues.
One swing of the bat, 2 outs. Yeah, you're 0 for 2. I can see how Gaylord would tell you that.
Yeah, no, I just swung the bat once. You're 0 for 2.
We were just starting to talk about the guy.
Well, here's Perez. And Perez takes high. 1 ball and no strikes. Andrew Susak's on deck. Swing and a miss. Giants will be in Detroit tonight. Day off tomorrow. And And then again Friday night. Hit out to right field. This should do it. And that's the ball game. So the Rockies take the season series and this series. They win 2 out of 3, but with that win on Monday in the suspended game, it feels kind of like they went 2-2. So that's how I'm going to look at it.
Well, yeah, that's how I'm exactly going to look like it. And you know what? You had to come in here and avoid getting Coors fielded, and they did. And they take 2 out of the 4 decisions. And now they go into an off day. Difficult for Ryan Vogelsong, who had better stuff than what the result would lead you to believe. But hey, now you can't dwell on it. You got to move on.
Move on. We will. Final score: Rockies 9, Giants 2. Esurance Giants postgame live is coming up. But first, let's go to the Sportsnet Central studio.